let's expand this conversation, get more information on this. We have Dr. Richard Moncrieff, who is the Central Africa Director at the International Crisis Group, here with us in studio. Thank you very much. Let's begin with this ruling. Does it deliver justice to the people of the DRC?
Well, of course, the ruling concerns justice for the people of the Central African Republic, and of course this is deeply disappointing to anybody who's concerned with justice in that country. In the DR Congo, it's a bit of a different question. He was never convicted or even indicted for crimes committed there. He was a warlord during the long civil war of the 1990s, but then a number of politicians were. He's not alone in that.
But in the Central African Republic, what does it mean?
Well, it means that nobody has been convicted for war crimes in the Central African Republic for a very long time, which is extremely disappointing because there have been many atrocities committed there, and indeed there continue to be many atrocities committed there, so evidently that's disappointing.
Right. And so what are the implications of his release?
Well, if we look at DR Congo, they are enormous. This is really a political earthquake. Jean-Pierre Bemba is a very well-known, high-profile Congolese politician. He came second to Joseph Kabila in the election in 2006. He can expect to gather a lot of support across the country. He's going to have to do a lot of alliance building with some of the existing politicians. That's the normal game in the Congo, and it's going to be very complicated, and time is very tight because presidential candidates have to put their name forward in less than 3 months now. So we're looking at some very tight, very rapid negotiations between opposition members, but Bemba is a very big player amongst the opposition. He's popular in the north, in the west, and in Kinshasa, if we look at his vote in 2006.
And there are reports that he is going to contest in the December election, so how is this likely to impact the political landscape?
Well, like I say, there's going to be an awful lot of negotiations. I would expect him to compete in the elections. He's that kind of person. He's a fighter, he's charismatic, he likes a crowd, he can rouse a crowd. He's that kind of politician, so I really would expect him to run. I suspect he also thinks this is unfinished business from 2006. He claimed he won that election. All the observers said otherwise and agreed that Kabila had won back in 2006, but that wasn't his view. So there's probably in his mind a bit of unfinished business, and he's a powerful character. So he's an earthquake on the DR Congo political scene.
An earthquake, you call him, and yet this earthquake comes at a time when Kabila says he's not going to contest anymore. What are we seeing in the DRC? Would you call it democracy, or what's happening there? How would you describe it?
The timing is extraordinary. We are in a very tense situation in the DR Congo with just months to go before people have to put their names forward for presidential candidate. Of course, that makes life difficult for the opposition who has to negotiate, but the government and the governing majority also have to decide on who's their candidate. Kabila will not, at present, come out and say he will not stand. He's under a lot of pressure. He's under pressure from African presidents who've said he should stand aside in December. He has not clearly and unequivocally said he will. He's got about 2 or 3 months to decide, so things are really heating up.
All right, interesting developments there. Dr. Richard Moncrieff, always a pleasure having you in studio. Thank you very much for being with us.